Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our great show, The Facts. My name is Rose Devila, your host for the next few minutes. Join me as we go on this journey with the help of our lovely and independent guests as we discuss about benevolent sexism. And when we talk about sexism, it is a prejudice, stereotyping, or discrimination typically against women on the basis of sex. That is why we have here Marajoy Pinky Yonson, Shenneth Nacilla, Miss Alfre Alinsonorin, as well as Daiane Khrystal to help us understand the aforementioned sexism is all about. So ladies, good morning. Let's get straight to our discussion. Miss Alfre, let me ask you first, what do you think benevolent sexism denotes?
Good morning to all the viewers. So when we talk about benevolent sexism, it is a subtler form of sexism and is expressed in a seemingly positive way. It is expressed by emphasizing men's role to protect and provide for women by putting them on a pedestal in a chivalrous way. This protection and love is granted in exchange for a woman's compliance to traditional gender roles. This form of sexism is investigated through paternal and traditional beliefs that perceive women as beautiful and pure, yet delicate and precious, and therefore in need of protection provided by men.
Oh, so benevolent sexism are those seemingly positive character and sweet acts of men to women that results to women's independency to men. And that independency will also make women prioritize relationships over pursuing educational or professional goals. I see.
Yes, Rose, the said sexism do happen everywhere. For example, a manager demonstrating a benevolent sexism doesn't promote the women for a belief that a new role might be too stressful for a mother with a young baby at home because of a traditional belief that women should be cherished but nonetheless implies inferiority in men. Also, some women says men are vulgar. Let's go there. Benevolent sexism hurts men too. When we say that women are more compassionate, nurturing, beautiful, and intuitive, we distance men from their capacity to become gentle, compassionate, beauty, and intuitive. We also contribute to the stereotypes about men that men are bad at communicating, household tasks, and other feminine things. If men admire the women qualities so much, they should strive to cultivate their quality themselves rather than exoticizing the women supposedly possessing in that kind of attribute.
Wow, I have not thought of that. Thank you so much, Miss Daiane. Let's go back to Miss Alfre. What are the societal effects of this matter, and does it affect everybody?
Yes, it does affect everybody. Actually, it has societal level effect and individual effects. First is societal level effects. Researchers argue that the benevolent sexism contributes to societal gender inequality. Benevolent sexism is pro-social treatment directed toward gender conforming or traditional women, and thus rewards women for staying in lower status roles relative to men.
Indeed, national levels of benevolent sexism have been shown to be objective indicators of societal gender inequality. I see. Please continue.
Yes, and benevolent sexism therefore may weaken women's resistance to sexism and gender inequality. Two researchers have found that priming women with complementary or the benevolent plus hostile sexist items increase support for the societal status quo, which reduce women's motivation to enact change in a sexist society. Thus, benevolent sexism is implicated in the maintenance of gender inequality at the societal level.
So how about in individual level effects, and does benevolent sexism recognized as sexist, Ms. Daiane?
Researchers have found out that women are more exposed to benevolent sexism instruction prior to a test job skills as a part of an employment interview. They also argue that benevolent sexism is not as easily recognized as sexist. Exposure results to women doubting their competence, cognitive abilities in a workplace context. Another group of researchers presented an evidence in paternalistic benevolent sexism that they believe in employment settings that can prevent women in offering in high-risk opportunities showing their career advancement.
Okay. So instead, they are offered lower status communal job roles that are more congruent with traditional gender norms.
Definitely, benevolent sexism has also shown to limit among women opportunities on romantic relationship context, and it is associated with the acquaintance of rape-blaming victim. It is often recognized as sexist, yet researchers shows that it has a damaging consequences in women's lives.
Wow, this is why we really need to be informed about this present yet unpopular topic that most women experience. My brain is now full of information and I am a bit shocked and amazed of how interesting our topic is as we dig deeper into it. May I ask you, Ms. Yonson, about the ways on dealing benevolent sexism? How do women respond to benevolent sexist?
Benevolent sexism is sneaky. It creeps in quietly. It could be a harmless comment from your partner. Let's say that women are better at cleaning or make better at parenting. Flattering, right? It might seem that way, regardless words lie that go against the exact thing we've been arguing, that all genders are equal. But how do we actually respond to a benevolent sexism with kindness and a bit of smart? First thing to do is, if they refer to women only as an attachment of men, remind them that we don't speak of men this way. Gently point out that very typically we're not calling men someone's father or husband. Yes, it happens, but far less overwhelmingly. If you wouldn't speak a certain way of men, odds are might you consider speaking that about women.
How about if they say that women make better parents and homemakers? What's the kind response to that?
Well, if they say that women are more better to be parents and homemakers, why are we supposedly better with kids? It's because sexism put us in the home where we belong. We have a harder time getting raises and promotions, securing positions of leadership, and etc. Depending on the industry we work in, finding a job altogether might be harder than it is for men. The truth is that men are just capable of being parents, housemakers, and women don't have to be in order to be valuable people.
How about if they say women are more beautiful? Because I've heard more than once that women are more beautiful of the sexes because the male body is just funny looking.
Well, simply remind them that beauty is subjective and we've all got it.
Yeah, that comment is horribly sexist against men. It damns them from birth, cursing them with a life of ugly just by nature of being a man.
You're right. It puts women on a pedestal.
And pedestals aren't cool.
It's more opportunity to set ridiculously high standards for women. And then if we don't measure up, it's because there is something wrong with us. How about instead of putting anyone up on a pedestal or holding them to unrealistic standards, we all just treat people like human beings created by God with equal rights and privilege to all resources.
Equality of all sexes, living without fear of gender discrimination, women and men having equal rights and opportunities of all resources and occupations. Last question will be asked to Ms. Shenneth. What are the ways to stop everyday sexism? Like, how do we stop it, or can it be stopped?
Yes, it can be stopped by reviewing how sexism is affecting your colleagues, your staff, and your customers. And focus your feedbacks on capability, not the appearance. Don't consent to sexist words or actions by staying silent when you notice them. Call out on unacceptable actions. Allow equal contributions by men and women at meetings. And check whether you are making assumptions based on person's gender.
Can I say, like, man up?
No, because that is a language that reinforces gender biases. And to add on how to stop it, we have to ensure also high-profile initiatives and task forces feature women, distribute administrative work and errands equally among male and female staff members.
The bottom line here is that benevolent sexism is still sexism, even when it's couched in statements that are meant to be compliments. It sucks that we're still at a point where we need to call it out where we see it. But identifying the problem is the first step to change, and it's high time we started making that change. Thank you to all the viewers, and I expect you have learned a lot in our discussion. This is Mary Rose Devila, your host, and this is
The
The
Facts.
Facts.